The problem with Pakistan is हर चीज deep house होती है. House is deep house, melodic tech is deep house.
Tropical is also
सब deep house हो जाता है. I can make a lot of money from this product, but the thing is कि
but you'll be compromising on the product.
Every penny that I'm gonna get from revenue, anything brands, it goes into the show. Like जितना बेहतर कर सकते हो बस को करते जाओ. But that's the thing, right? अगर मैं नहीं कमा रहा, ऐसे नहीं कर रहा, but at least I can say कि hey, we did something beautiful. If you tell me that Pakistanis are close-minded, I won't say they're close-minded. That was a different time. 90s, early 2000s were close-minded. We were more traditional. We were more, but we're still very centrist. Right now, it's not about being close-minded. It's about that groups ban gaye.
City FM 89. We've got Mr Shotbox in the house.
Hello. Which camera?
All of them. All of them. Welcome.
Okay, I'm just going to wave to all.
Welcome, new digs. We used to be in another studio. This is a new studio.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thanks, man.
Mr. Shotbox, your origin story. So you're a DJ, entrepreneur. You're doing a lot of things. You're wearing a lot of hats right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're learning a lot of stuff, at least from what I've seen.
Yeah.
You want to tell us, like, what your origin story is? How did you get into this game?
Okay, so
I want to know from, like, the get-go. Like, when did you, like... Okay, like I want to get on the decks and I want to start mixing and I want to start, becoming a DJ or playing events. Like, how did that come about?
So when did Uncle Ben die for me, huh? You want to know how did Shotbox start or do you want to know how I became a DJ? Those are
both.
Two
First, how you became a DJ and then how Shotbox started.
So how I became a DJ is that I had no intentions of being a DJ. I liked like what DJs were doing, but वही वाली बात आ जाती है कि whoever that you asked to play at your like little things that you're doing itne nakre the, so it was more of a I'll do it myself kind of a thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it was literally that. There was no plan of being a DJ. I just wanted
forget this, I'll get behind the decks, huh?
Yeah, because I was like, they're all fighting, they're all petty, they're all just मैं खुद ही कर लेता हूँ भाई, I'll just do it myself. So that's the thing. But the shotboxing came about as I just wanted to do cool stuff with like, sort of Shotbox was supposed to be an exhibition, but with music. So I just saw this opportunity. So I went to Lums and we got introduced to Bedia.
Okay.
Infamous Bedia Road and the farmhouses. And I go to these raves and, there's this synergy between this new sort of music. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, there was, I think they were playing a lot of melodic house and, house in general.
I like melodic house.
Yeah, so
I like deep house.
So definitely. Lahore had this.
Sorry to cut you off. There's something that I need to clarify with you as well. So the deep house stuff that you see on YouTube, I don't know if I'm...
Yeah.
Is that really deep house or is deep house something different to that? Is it more intense than what you like these... You hear like these long mixes, like these 6, 7, 8 minute mixes and they're like chilled out and they're calling it deep house. Is that deep house? Am I right?
Yeah, I mean like there's different variations of it. The problem with Pakistan is that हर चीज deep house होती है. House is deep house, melodic tech is deep house.
Tropical is also
सब deep house हो जाता है. So any music that's not Martin Garrix and is deep house. Okay. That's the only time people can differentiate between music is if you're playing funk or techno भी deep house हो जाता है. So deep house is one of those things के जैसी हानि होती गाड़ी कौन सी है अच्छा जीप ली है अब वो भले लैंड क्रूजर हो रेंज रोवर हो तो यहाँ पे भी सारा म्यूजिक बस जीप हाउस हो जाता है.
Okay, sorry, getting back. So you said you were in Lums.
Yes.
Yeah, okay then.
So we went to these like I saw what was happening at Bedia and it was great. Everybody was going wild. It was a completely different subculture. So one thing I like about Lahore is that there is a subculture to this thing. You will have these people and log aate hain, jo aate hain, all that, but you will always have a subculture attached to these raves.
Right.
And I really like that. You won't find that in Karachi. Karachi is more of a, cliques bani hui hain, unke apne events hote hain, phir ye hota hai. It's getting to a more industry format, but Lahore was always about the subculture. So I went
Do you think that's because Lahore has like a heavier music scene in general compared to Karachi? Because that's what we find. Like
it's a small town.
I think with City FM 89 is what we've noticed is that you've got like it's like a hub for like upcoming underground musicians, Lahore. Like solo artists. A lot of them are based there. Karachi, not so much.
There's a lot going on in Karachi. The thing is that Karachi mein sab wohi hai na, chupe. You've got these cliques, wohi aage chal rahi hain. You've got these groups. It's like a lot of tribalism in Karachi. In Lahore, you can't have this tribalism because Lahore, it's a beautiful city, right? Yeah. Anybody who's watching, I'll tell them I've lived there. It's a beautiful city. Everything about it is good. Infrastructure is good. But you have to understand that at the end of the day it's not a city.
Okay.
वहाँ पंजाबी रहते हैं, एक छोटा सा geographical area है, it's like a homogeneous group, right? They're all in that. कराची आते हो भाई, पुल के इस पार पुल के उस पार, पंजाबी, सिंधी, पठान, मुहाजिर, ये वो इतनी ट्राइबलिज्म है that you know you don't see a lot of it. वहाँ पे अगर एक बंदा म्यूजिक बना रहा है ना, बस उनकी एक पूरी क्लिक वो साथ चलेगी. सो सिमिलर टू वाओ रेव्स आर गोइंग ऑन, वो सारे साथ इसलिए चलते हैं बिकॉज वो कम्युनिटीज उनकी छोटी हैं. You know, they're big in number. It's one of the biggest cities on, you know, on the planet, but they're all in this together. It's a very homogeneous community.
Right.
So I go there. So you know, I go to these events, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Most of these events you go to, phadde,
so there's a lot of there's like a disconnect there. People aren't professional, so to say, or they don't want to get the job done.
So I was like, hey man, you know what, let's do it. And let's do it safely. Let's do it for our college thing. So I think in my sophomore year I did this event, and Shotbox was essentially basically, so a bunch of my friends, they went on this trip, and they had their own fun.
Where did they go?
I think it was Kilkit Wali side or something, right?
So within the country.
Yeah, so they go there and they're you know, having shots and
they had fun. They had fun.
So it was a short box for them.
Okay.
Yeah, they had fun.
They had fun. Okay. Yeah.
So when they came back, apparently that trip was called Shotbox. They come back.
So that's where it came from.
And so one of the people that was involved in this with me, he was like, okay, if we're going to do a scene, we're going to call it Shotbox. So that name stuck. Everybody left this entire thing, and that name stuck because, you know, it continued. But the entire premise of that was I wanted to do something that was kind of nice.
Right.
So we had this really amazing sort of a modern, you know, architecture based farmhouse over there. It was beautiful. It was one of the most beautiful.
This is still Lahore we're talking about.
Yeah, it's still Lahore. So you know, it was one of the most beautiful farmhouses I've seen. And we're like, okay, I want to do this because of the farmhouse thing. Pehle to koi venue so hai nahi Pakistan. You know, this is also, if somebody is watching.
I mean, here we've got warehouses and stuff in Karachi.
It's warehouse. You can't do events at warehouses. Unki sound ka itna kaam karna padta hai.
And air conditioning.
I don't know why nobody has a venue in Karachi. It's such a metropolitan city. Ek venue nahi hai. Shadi hall hai.
Shadi hall hai. Wahan pe kar lo.
Yeah, I think everything.
Now we talk about your events that you're doing, right? If you want to be a part of it, there's like a whole procedure you were telling.
A lot of people, it pisses them off ke acha pura form humne fill kiya, page C9Cs, and you know, Meta didn't give us access, like, you know,
you check the social media profiles as well.
Yeah, we do that.
Okay, so that's like, it's like proper screen. It's like when you pull up to a club abroad, like people now show their Instagram. Apart from their ID, if they have to show their ID, they show their Instagram, and then they let those girls and those guys in.
But that's
have a decent following. But then that's like influencer culture, though. Like, but you're doing it for a different purpose, though.
Security.
Right.
And the thing is, what I tell people is, I don't know you. I don't know any of you. Right. So I'm not being biased against you if I don't give you a ticket. It's just what's in front of me. If I don't think it matches the profile, or if I don't think you, you know, welcome here, and if I think you can make trouble. अब मैं किसी के Instagram पे जा रहा हूँ जी, गने, वीगो, guard डाले, guards, bro, I don't want you there, man. It's get weird. I don't. That. So when people, so that also pisses people off. More the message आते हैं, like, you know, a lot of girls always message, is this because I'm not pretty enough? I'm like, no, it's not that you're pretty enough. The person who's coming with you, I think he's not pretty enough, and I don't want him there. Because, you know, I don't want...
It reminds me of Studio 54. It's like a Studio 54 thing back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching this podcast, and I was really... there was a point in time when I was really fascinated with, like, nightclubs and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, especially, like, clubs from the, you know, like from the 70s, 80s, 60s type. Studio 54 was like a huge thing, you know, like huge nightclub back in the day. And they used to do this picking thing as well, like screening thing, like, oh, okay, the girl can come, but the dude with the girl can't come because, you know, the dude, it doesn't fit like a certain profile. Sort of reminds me of like club culture and stuff.
Yeah.
Though, again, like you said, it's a different purpose why you're doing it. But I just wanted to add that Studio 54 thing. Like,
I mean, we've tried this, and it's pissed people off a lot as well.
Yeah.
And also, you know, people who can afford our tickets, if the first thing that they say is, हमसे कौन पूछ रहा है? Like, we should do this, ये वो. And the thing is, like, a lot of people are like, यार पैसे पकड़ो, ticket दे दो, and it's easier for me. I'm going to earn more money through this, right?
Of course.
We're going to sort of add to this, to the costs. We're going to sort of be closer to break even.
Yeah.
But I don't do that. I was like, एक तो बहुत subsidized ticketing prices हैं, आप पैसे उतने देते नहीं हमें, ठीक है. Also, it's just that I don't like entitlement. I'm making a product here. I'm giving, you know, we're doing something really crazy. for this city, अब मुझे culture का नहीं है इतना, ठीक है, but I'm doing it for the city so we can have some sort of landmarks or something to tell कि we're doing this here, so we can pitch it to people outside or show them that we're doing
investors,
this. Not investors. There's no such thing as investors in Pakistan. यहाँ पे इतनी unformal black
out of the country, right? Maybe somebody out of the country.
Nobody's going to invest in Pakistan. This is a pipe dream. Our economy is always going to be screwed this way. But this isn't about that. This is about access. Okay, we have some sort of soft access.
Right.
If I show these events to some major artist, if I show this to a collective, they're going to come here. Who wants to come to Pakistan?
Yeah. Wait, before we get into that, I kind of want to, so like who fits the profile? Like just tell us, like who is the person that can, that like fits the description or like matches whatever the criteria is. Is there like a specific type or no? Is it completely subjective then?
It's completely
Are there
subjective.
some boxes that the people can check off?
Yeah, it's if somebody has a, let's say, everything is fine, they can fill out a form. So
you need to be capable to fill out a form.
Yeah,
okay.
That's insane. I mean, you have these people who are ridiculously well off and ridiculously.
They don't have the attention span to go through a whole Google Doc or Google form.
So we have it on the website, right? Okay. We have an inbuilt system, and that it takes all of your information and वो सारी चीजें हैं. But the problem with people is that we've got thousands of applications, right, to buy the tickets. Most of them get rejected. People can't अपने नाम से नहीं लिखते.
That's interesting. That's the first I've ever heard anybody doing that, by the way. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, because if you don't do it, I mean, we can earn the money, then it's going to be problematic for us.
So that means everybody that's coming there is handpicked.
Yeah,
is handpicked, and that means the experience that they're getting will be one that is way more elevated than one in which people aren't handpicked.
You're
right?
gonna feel safe.
You're gonna feel safe, and you're gonna have a better experience because like the crowd is gonna be a good crowd.
I mean, at this event, let's say because we are giving you, something that you're not gonna hear, and the people that are buying our tickets, if they can, buy that ticket at that price point. Most likely they belong to a certain socio-economic class.
Okay.
These are people that are not culturally aligned with Pakistan. ये बाहर यूनिवर्सिटी गए हैं, ये बाहर पढ़े हैं, like everything.
Fair.
So they're more open to sort of being outside the boundary, that conservative boundary, right? Fair. And they want to be themselves.
Right.
We want to
have a good time.
Yeah. We want people over there. So the thing about Shotbox is that we're not doing anything illegal. You bring alcohol, you
Which
bring
is something
drugs
amazing.
here.
So you're not going against, I didn't know this, and I found out that you guys don't allow, you don't allow drugs, you don't allow alcohol. It's pretty clean. It's clean. You're all about the experience and the art.
So, I mean, that's illegal. You change the laws. आप मुझे बोलते हो कि bill pass हो रहा है assembly में, मैं उसी दिन आपको लाने
Right, of course. I mean, you have to operate within the laws of your country.
If you're spending so many resources and so much money into building something, why would we ruin it through this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Alcohol, drugs, we don't allow that.
Right.
But पाकिस्तान में कोई पाबंदी नहीं है कोई किसके समय कपड़े पहने या किसके हाथ खड़ा हो क्या हो जिन चीज़ों पर पाबंदी नहीं है हम उस पर लीवे तो देंगे लोगों को
right
and people who don't understand that we as a society needs to थोड़ा सा we need to decompress
right
हम पागल हो गए यहाँ पे right wing youth is आगे पीछे people are I won't say if you tell me कि Pakistanis are close minded I won't say they're close minded that was a different time 90s में early 2000s में close minded we were more traditional we were more but we're still very centrist right now it's not about being close minded it's about that groups बन गए there's your socioeconomic elite which is on a left spectrum and then there you've got the right which is
So you said one thing, I've talked about criteria, right? Mm-hmm. So like the first thing was you need to be able to fill out a form. Then?
अगर आपने fill कर दिया है, फिर we're going to go over your profile, right?
Okay social media we're talking
social
about.
media.
You check Instagram.
Yeah. Right. And then we're going to see कि, a lot of
people...
So
what does the Instagram need to look like?
It needs to be clean. It needs to be okay.
It doesn't have to be a super hot profile. It just needs to be clean.
Yeah, you need to be a normal person. This is what a lot of people don't realize. What they think is कि अच्छा we need influencers and we need
a certain amount of followers, like hot pics. No,
it's like there's so many profiles. There's somebody has 1 million followers, 500,000. They get rejected.
Okay,
we reject them.
So your criteria is different, right?
Yeah,
it's different. Okay.
We need normal people who want to come for the experience, who want to have fun. A lot of people think we're just having this, we're selecting this criteria that we can have some bouginess to our event. We can have hot chicks over there. यहाँ पर मेलो को नहीं आने देना, because that's some sort of vocabulary that you use. Oh, अच्छा burger है, मेला है. वो नहीं. We don't want that, bhai. We don't care what you're doing. We just need you to be a normal person who wants to have fun, who understands what we're doing. That we're doing this for, that appreciate this.
Okay.
Okay, you come in and you don't, make any trouble. You don't do anything. You come in, you appreciate it, and you go back home and you're like, I had a good time.
Yeah.
And that's all we want. We want normal people, and we don't want anyone who's coming in, with their entitlement or with their status or anything. Shotbox is a privilege-free zone. I don't care who you are.
Okay.
I don't care where you're coming from. You're gonna follow the rules, and you're gonna be there in a way that doesn't, create that stratification between people.
So like, tell me about you DJing and stuff. Like what are your like influences? Maybe when you're putting like a set together and stuff, do you have like a bunch of old vinyl records which you like put on your decks?
Vinyl here, vinyl, and if you want to bring vinyl, it's gonna be very expensive.
Yeah.
I don't really particularly know anyone who plays vinyl here. Maybe a couple of people in Lahore.
Okay.
But I don't know anyone who plays vinyl here. But apart from that, I think I play just different things. That's one of the things about being Mr Shotbox, right? Like, क्या है, कुछ भी नहीं है. It's like Shotbox, but Mr लग गया आगे. I mean, I don't have any genre that I'm limited to.
Okay.
I am going to play according to the event, and that's what I like doing. If it's a mainstream event, like it's a flagship event, Shotbox, I'm gonna play like orchestral techno. It has to be grand, it has to be big, it has to be surreal. If I'm doing something else like a pop-up or something, it has to be funk, it has to be disco. It's really fun. As a DJ, playing disco, funk is really fun. Okay. I don't really, I can play, I've played those, but I don't really like playing genres that everybody else is playing. Everybody's playing tech house, melodic house, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I like those genres, but it's just that I want to play stuff that I can introduce people to as well. Different stuff.
Like a discovery type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the music that I'm sort of making right now, with so many files, it was padi hui thi, now I'm kind of getting into it. Isko aram aram se release pe ja rahe hain. What I'm doing with that music is that I'm not making it for the dance floor.
Okay, then?
I'm making it entirely based. Like, so, the track that I released like last was called Phase 8 Cruisy.
Right.
It was about like cruising around in Phase 8. It was about the sunniness of Karachi, but also a dark element of it. Now the track that I'm making, it's about linked to the childhood memories of theme parks and arcades and all of that. So everything that I've done is very Karachi based, but it's the music that I'm making, it's about moments frozen in time in Karachi of the way I saw it. And I was listening to the track. We were in the studio and we were listening to it. And it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Because, there was this quality of nostalgia to it.
For example, we had a podcast recently that I shot with Usman Riaz, right? Now, he was plugging his film Glassworker, which is a beautiful film that he's done. Like
I can't wait for it. It's going to be amazing.
It's a labor of love, man. Like 2D, hand-drawn, pictures that he's turned into a film.
Yeah.
Amazing. Now, that's the same thing. Like, not everybody sort of can take that risk, because I was speaking to, I'm like, how many people really say that, okay, I know that I'm going to make money from my art, like I will have a secure future from it. Their parents will say, no, become a doctor, become a lawyer, become an engineer. That's safer. You'll at least earn a living and then do this as a side gig.
Yeah.
So that risk element, I feel like really deters people, like from whether it's pursuing an education or then sort of making it like their main gig or their main hustle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but now I feel it's changing though.
It's ironic.
It's changing though, because YouTube has helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, you can learn anything, man. I learned video editing, photo editing. Like, I'm big into like photo editing. So I learned
that's why I said I think it's gonna piss off a lot of people when I say this.
Right.
But every IBS kid that I've met,
man,
they don't know to do anything. They don't know how to do anything, honestly. And when you work with them, some of them are brilliant. As I said, people on my team, some of them are brilliant. They went to IVS. And then I meet people who haven't gone to any school, who haven't had that education. They're doing wonderful stuff.
Self-taught, yeah.
Even people who do come out of NCA or IVS, it takes some time.
Okay.
वो आप जब सीख कर रहे होते हो when you are doing something तो आपको टाइम लग जाता है. If you're an architect or something, say you need a formal education, but let's say you are like a painter or something, you're gonna study theory, all of that stuff, but आपको जब काम अच्छा नहीं आ रहा, you're not producing valuable art, or if you're not producing something that is globally, art is more or less महंगी पेंटिंग सिर्फ मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग के लिए और टैक्सेस के लिए होती है. यहाँ पे काम नहीं चलने वाला. यहाँ पे तो खुला मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग होती है ना, तो यहाँ पे काम नहीं चलता है ये.
There was a line in one of Usman Riaz's in this trailer, in fact, like, what is life without art and music?
Yeah.
You're left with nothing but war and conflict.
And
right?
I feel like people.
In fact, I put this up on Twitter as well.
Yeah?
I put this line because I loved it, dude. I was telling him off camera. I'm like, man, on camera I said it too, but I'm like, dude, I love that line. Like, that's what life is, man. Art. Like, if you art and music and film and all of this, because I love that stuff. I eat it up. Photography, I eat that stuff up. So, like, I can relate to what you're saying. Like, art is. I feel art is everything. Or you're kind of dry, or you're kind of thirsty without art. You know what I mean?
Yeah, सही है. मैंने पैसे नहीं कमाए Shotbox से. Shotbox wasn't financially viable.
But you will in the future, hopefully.
Yeah. If I want to make money out of Shotbox,
you're gonna have to make compromises.
I can make a lot of money from this product, but the thing is,
but you'll be compromising on the product.
Every penny that I'm gonna get from revenue, anything brands, it goes into the show. Like जितना बेहतर कर सकते हो बस को करते जाओ. But that's the thing, right? अगर मैं नहीं कमा रहा, ऐसे नहीं कर रहा, but at least I can say कि hey, we did something beautiful. We did something amazing that nobody else did, and we're going to look back at it and we're going to be like, oh damn, it's not going to go anywhere. Like, these things live on. And once something is done, once an idea is out there, it will continue. And this is one of the weirdest things, that if you have an idea, now that it's in your brain, right? It's like there's a red car, blue car thing.
Red pill, blue pill?
No. The red car, like, it's like, if you're driving a red car, now you're going to see a red car everywhere.
Okay.
So once you have an idea, you start seeing that idea develop, like, everywhere else. And that's good. I don't know. I think people think it's a PR thing. जो हम लोग बोल लेते हैं कि if you want to use Shotbox resources, do it. If your event, your idea is good, we'll help you out with that stuff. And we truly mean that. If everybody starts doing this, we don't have public spaces, we don't have entertainment, we don't have anything going on. Darakht nahi hai hamare paas.
We need more trees, man.
We need more trees, honest to God. So we don't have those. We don't have compassion for each other, and that compassion can be born out of understanding the human spirit, the human condition, and you can only understand the human condition through art and music.
Fair.
If you don't have that, you can't. आप एक दूसरे बंदे को समझ ही नहीं सकते. जब आप दूसरे बंदे को समझ नहीं सकते तो आप उसकी कदर नहीं करोगे. फिर आप इसलिए आप उसको लाइक तशद्दुद भी होता है, जुल्म भी होता है, हमारा माशरा इसलिए नीचे जा रहा है.
You can't relate.
You don't understand. इतनी स्ट्रैटिफिकेशन है कि आप इतना कमाते हो तो जितने नीचे हैं वो they're sub-humans to you. आप इतना कमाते हो आपके नीचे सारे sub-humans. When you don't care about them, तो किस तरह होगा. हमारे पास कोई मूवीज तो नहीं बन रही. हमारी मूवीज बन रही थी स्पाई ऑप्स एंड फौजी और ये वो, और हमारे पास ड्रामे जो बनते हैं वो साउस बहू के बनते हैं. मूवीज बन रही हैं, बर्गरों के लिए बन रही हैं, एक पता नहीं कोई सोशो इकोनॉमिक लीग के लिए बन रही हैं. किसी ने आज तक मूवी बनाई है अबाउट द रंगी पायलट प्रोजेक्ट और अबाउट लाइफ फ्लड्स के बाद कैसी लाइफ थी? Nobody makes anything about that.
They don't make art house films. They don't make independent art house films.
One of the best things,
or if they do, they're not given that kind of perhaps adoration maybe or appreciation that people make more than.
Art and music can change that. What electronic music was when they were like Detroit, Philadelphia, when they were starting out, even in Germany or even in Eastern Europe, this was voice for the masses. This was the weird kid stuff that they were doing, but it gave them freedom. It gave them this ability to organize and be amongst themselves. And these, they introduced house, they introduced all of these movements. So it was based on a lot of subculture, like subaltern movements and subcultural communities that were not at the top. They were there and they brought electronic music, and slowly now it's been co-opted by the nobility. Kind music concerts ho rahe hain, falana ho rahe hain. Now it's all about sexy, Ibiza jana hai, Tulum jana hai. It's not about anything else, and that's what I hate about Shotbox. I'm not gonna lie. I can't make Shotbox mass. I really want to make it mass. Why? I don't really care किसको किसके साथ आना है नहीं आना ये हो रहा है किसी की शक्ल अच्छी नहीं लग रही वो मेरा मसला नहीं है. I want this to go out. Electronic music was supposed to be about the masses. I can't do that because there's a lot of risks involved in this country, so you have to juggle. But hopefully, we also have a new brand coming up, Just Be.
Okay.
So that's what I miss the whole Lahore thing, the subculture about minus the masle. I miss that. I want to have like that rave experience of being in a place in a safe environment. We're just enjoying for the night.
Right.
You're with your friends.
Right.
Once a month you can go for that. That's what we're starting. We wanted to do an event, but we couldn't do it. One of our DJs passed away.
Okay, I'm sorry to
hear. So we didn't do it. We're gonna do it next month. And that's I want to give a Shotbox a pause.
Right.
I want to figure out what I want to do with it, and meanwhile I want to dig Just Be and just be with it.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about Just Be.
I'm usually too occupied with stuff to most of the messages on my profile. The team handles a lot of that stuff. When it comes to crazy stuff,
I mean, like you check your DMs, like like people hitting you up, they listen, you let me in, like
there's a lot of emotional blackmail हो रहा होता है फिर there's so many धमकियाँ देखते हैं तुम क्या करते हो ये वो I'm like क्या चल रहा है यहाँ पे so
लड़के तो धमकियाँ दे रहे हैं. What about the girls? What do the girls say?
The girls why didn't there's a lot of messages about like they get pissed off why did we get rejected ये क्या हुआ है but most people are nice. Most people are like तमीज से बात करते हैं. They're like
nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. I think people are very well aware कि like क्यों फजूल में पंगे लें किसी के साथ इस तरह. I mean they also know they want to attend the show, right? That's why they're messaging. They don't get into this, maybe they'll try next time.
Fair.
Maybe next time they can have they can remove the pictures with Clashin and this and that. I'm sure they went to a shooting range. मुझे समझ आ रही है.
I doubt
but still but it's Pakistan, man. We're in Karachi. Shotbox is a Karachi based brand now. I'm not really interested in going आगे Islamabad and Lahore.
You were talking about, you mentioned your other brand that you just
you
want to like tell me.
But so basically that brand is all about, we just want to go back to the basics. We want to focus on sound and lighting. And we want to focus on good music, and we want people to have a good time, just dance, just come for the show, come for the music, just so there's no pressure to do anything. There's no pressure to be something else. There's no pressure to place yourself into this environment where there's big sets. There's like this Shotbox is all about grand stuff and all about the storytelling.
Like I know it's difficult to get like foreign DJs to come in. Like you want to tell me like how that goes down, like what the scene is with like getting people from abroad to come and play.
Bhik mangni padti hai bahut zyada. It takes a lot of work, a lot of sort of
I mean the fees are in dollars. Let's be real, it's expensive.
That's what I keep telling people. Let's say
it's not cheap.
Let's say I get 1,000 people, right? And they're paying me 20,000 per ticket.
Right.
But the thing is, the shows itself, because all of the costs that we have, they're all in dollars. Everything that we're getting, their flights.
Let me just calculate on my phone. And we go on. Keep going.
So everything that we have, that's what I keep telling people. The cost of these shows is so massive that your ticket sales are just a very small fraction.
I mean, so 20,000 into 1,000 is 20 million.
20 million. That's nothing. That's
20 million. Now, if you were to take it at the current rate, USD, let's say it's 277. Okay, let's just say that's 72K USD.
I mean, more than half of that is like a DJ le aata. If you have multiple DJs, then that's what's happening. Right? So, in that situation, when you're going for that, that's what I keep telling people that, and 1,000 nahi hota, sales are much less. बहुत सारे लोगों को accommodate भी करना है.
You've got your people that you let in, like PR lists and all of that stuff.
बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं. तो उसमें, and then what I keep telling people is that the tickets only account for what? 30%?
Because I remember like
cost.
Like Diplo came twice here through I think it was Black Box Production or something. He came twice here. We were also partners on that, Certified 89. The Bryan Adams concert happened, but I mean like it's they're few and far between. Like you can count them on your fingertips. It doesn't happen a lot.
It doesn't happen.
Clean Bandit came, when Solace happened.
So those they earn money. Like Solace, the Diplo thing, they earn a lot of money. They could do it. I don't know why they didn't do it. Maybe it's a lot of work.
Right.
With Shotbox, the problem is that we don't let people buy tickets.
Fair. So it's very like selective. Like in a good way though, because
It will be for a while.
Yeah, you explained why though. You had explained that. Yeah.
It has to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love it if I can have a festival thing going on where there's thousands of people, but I also understand that that will take time. Let introduce this to people. Aram ram. It's a long game. As I said, the population, there's so many young people coming in. या तो हमारा एक Arab Spring निकल आएगा, या तो we'll settle down as a society. We can become an economic powerhouse. And when people have finances, when people have money, they also have a need for entertainment. They also have a need for art. They also have a need for music.
Right.
Maybe we can come then. But what that's going to do, the reason why we started right now, not when it becomes a lucrative industry, is because this also gives us a pedigree. Okay, we've been here when there was nothing.
Right.
We were doing something when nobody else was doing it.
Right.
And now we understand what's going to be here. So anybody who comes outside, let's say India is crazy in terms of electronic music right now. So many festivals are coming in. But the festivals, the events that started out so pehle, they've stayed. Like, Sunburn and all of these, they're there. They're not going to leave. They have the market share. मैं सबको ये बोलता हूँ, अभी मैं नहीं कमा रहा, मैं बाद में कमा लूँगा. I earn a lot from the Shotbox.
It's a long game. It's a long-term plan.
It's a long-term plan.
Yeah, you're in it for the long haul.
But in order to, have that story play out in the long run, it needs a beginning. आप कहीं ना कहीं से start करोगे ना. So the funniest bit about, you want to call it a rave, you want to call it an electronic music show, you want to call it a party ball. They keep telling me, call it an electronic music show, don't call it a rave, it has bad connotations. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of done with it. I'm going to call it whatever I want.
Fair.
You want to call it a party, rave, electronic music show, whatever. Do you remember, like, pre-COVID, it wasn't a thing. I mean, if you were a cool kid around town, then aap ja rahe ho. If you were with a social group, tab aap ja rahe ho. You couldn't, you didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, of course.
It was kind of always very packed, very
secretive.
Yeah. Post-COVID,
Hush.
now everybody, everybody and their mom knows about raves. That's how you Now people are starting to understand that. And eventually, this will ease out. It's gonna become, अभी जिनको पसंद नहीं आ रहा कि नहीं लड़के लड़कियां क्यों साथ खड़े होते हैं and all of that stuff, it's a very minority. Majority people don't care. Pakistanis are very कि हमारे पेट्रोल की प्राइस ऊपर नहीं आ रही, हम chilling में, right? They're that sort of people. And now that it's opening up, now that's why we want to do things publicly. That's why we don't hush.
Right.
You can't get the ticket, but we're gonna market the shit out, but everybody's gonna know about that.
Solid. Live and let live.
Yeah.
And without art and music, what else is there?
Shit.
Yeah, what else is there?
Imagine if Karachi was a bit more colorful.
That would have been amazing.
दरख्त होते.
Would have been amazing.
सही है, पेट्रोल महंगा हो जाता, कर लेते. Shade में चल लेते, दरख्त हो गए.
It was fun, man, having you on. Thank you so much.
Likewise, I had a nice conversation.
Where can people find you?
On Instagram.
Okay.
Kind of a boomer in that sense. I only have Instagram.
What is the handle?
Mr Shotbox. That's it.
Solid. That's all we need, right? That's all we need.
That's it.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
I hope to have you on again sometime.
Yeah. Would love that.
All right. Thank you, guys.